Now, I mentioned earlier that Microsoft Copilot also has these conversation styles. And these styles, for example, influence the tone and conciseness of the response generated by Copilot. And to show you how these styles differ, I'll ask Copilot to write me a blog post about traveling to foreign countries. And I'm doing this in that default, more balanced style to begin with. Now, as you see, it then goes ahead and generates me some text here. So now it's done, and yeah, I think it's a nice text, but it's not necessarily a good blog post. It's pretty short, pretty concise, more like a description I could use for myself. Which kind of makes sense because, of course, we were in that more balanced mode. So let me now try that same prompt in the more creative mode. Because as the name suggests, that's the mode you want to try using if you're looking for creative work, like the generation of a blog post. If I use that mode, you'll see that I get a more detailed blog post. And most importantly, I get a text that would qualify as a blog post that I might want to share on my blog, and that's not just a description for myself. Here, at least in my example here, it actually didn't include any search results, but really focused on generating that creative text instead. And of course, we could now go back and forth and ask more questions and refine it and perform some prompt engineering, and you'll learn about all these things throughout the course, but this shows you how this creative mode here works. Now, last but not least, we can also try the more precise mode, and it hopefully won't be too surprising that here it won't be that great of a blog post. Instead, it will really focus on giving us some core information without too much fluff, which also actually could be a nice blog post, but I guess you get my point. It'll really focus on the facts here in this mode. So that's the result I got here. And therefore, these different modes might be worth playing around with so that you get the best result for the task you're trying to accomplish. It's also worth noting that the more precise and more balanced mode also are a bit more secure when it comes to the problem of dealing with hallucinations. They can still occur in those modes, but they're a bit less likely because Copilot tries to focus on giving you just the facts and on not generating too much text. So that's also something to keep in mind here. Now that's in the end Microsoft Copilot, and of course the best way to learn more about it is simply to play around with it. As with all these different models and chatbots, new features are also added all the time, and the underlying models might also change. So it can also be a good idea to sometimes revisit certain chatbots or models you didn't like in the past because they might have improved over time.